This case is one of the largest anti-money laundering operations, not just in Singapore, but likely the world.
A massive money laundering case being investigated in Singapore has grown from 2.4 billion Sing dollars to 2.8 billion Sing dollars. Ministers spoke in Parliament on October 3rd, answering several questions from MPs. For instance, how did it happen and when did it come to light?
Police had initially received disparate information on suspicious activities. In 2021, our anti-money laundering regime picked up a few signals, including the use of suspected forged documents to substantiate sources of funds in bank accounts in Singapore. Some suspicious transaction reports were filed by financial institutions and other companies. Police began looking separately into these alerts.
So in early 2022, police launched a probe. They then uncovered a web of people believed to have connections among themselves.
As the probe progressed, the web uncovered by the police grew and grew. More and more individuals were implicated in the alleged money laundering operation, and more of their assets held in Singapore were discovered.
Only a small team of police officers were involved to avoid alerting the suspects, the minister said.
Earlier this year, the police assessed that they had enough information and consulted the Attorney General's chambers. AGC assessed that we had sufficient reason to suspect that criminal offences had been committed in Singapore.
The police took action on August 15. 10 suspects were arrested.
There has been some speculation circulating in news outlets, internationally and domestically, that this operation was carried out at the behest of China. This is completely untrue. Singapore does not need another country to tell us what to do to enforce our laws, nor will we do anything unless it is in our own interests. In this case, we started investigations because we suspected that offences had been committed in Singapore. Once we confirmed our suspicions, we acted.
The total value of assets involved stands at more than 2.8 billion Sing dollars, and these include 152 properties and 62 vehicles, thousands of bottles of liquor and wine, seizures of money in bank accounts amounting to more than 1.45 billion Sing dollars, cash amounting to more than 76 million Sing dollars, cryptocurrencies of more than 38 million Sing dollars, 68 gold bars, 294 luxury bags, 164 luxury watches, and 546 pieces of jewelry. The 10 people arrested have been charged for offences including laundering criminal proceeds.
The proceeds likely came from criminal activities that took place outside of Singapore. These include illegal money gambling, illegal online gambling, and unlicensed money lending. In addition to money laundering, some of the accused have been charged with forgery as well. 2 of the 10 persons have been charged with additional offences of resisting arrest and perverting the cause of justice.
Many others are assisting with investigations. So, how could a case as big as this have happened in Singapore, a country known for its strong rule of law?
Everyone knows that we have a zero-tolerance approach for money laundering. But just as low crime does not mean no crime, zero tolerance does not mean zero occurrence. We are under no illusion that we can always keep out dirty money.
With a large volume of transactions taking place daily, Singapore relies on stakeholders such as banks and corporate service providers to conduct checks and detect risks, the minister said.
When there is reasonable suspicion to investigate, we do not hesitate to do so. We do not turn a blind eye to any risks once we are made aware of them. This is not the first time that we have taken serious enforcement action against money laundering offences, nor will it be the last.
Ms. Teo also addressed questions on the suspect's immigration status.
To recap, 10 persons have been arrested and charged. They hold employment passes and dependence passes. At the time of their applications, none of them were on Interpol's red notice. As I updated earlier, police has been casting its net much wider than these 10. Investigations are ongoing and many persons have been interviewed, and more will be. They include Singaporeans, permanent residents, and those on different types of immigration passes.
She also said there are frameworks in place for the assessment of work pass applications and other long-term immigration facilities.
We will review how to tighten our verification checks at various points. At the same time, we should be sensible. Most people are not illegal money launderers or criminals. If we make the rules too tight, then it is the vast majority of innocent applicants who will be unnecessarily penalized. The crooks will still try to find a way around the rules.
Another minister, Indranee Rajah, announced that the government will set up a new interministerial committee to strengthen anti-money laundering checks.
We will be setting up an interministerial committee comprising political office holders from MAS, MHA, MinLaw, MOM and MTI, and chaired by myself, to review our system with the benefit of what we are learning from this case and to keep our regime up to date with increasingly sophisticated crimes.
The committee will focus on 4 areas.
First, on how we can better prevent corporate structures from being abused by money launderers. Second, how financial institutions can enhance their controls and collaborate more effectively with each other and authorities to guard against and flag suspicious transactions. Third, how other players in the system, like corporate service providers, real estate agents, and precious stones and metals dealers, can help to better guard against money laundering risks. And fourth, how we can strengthen and centralize and strengthen monitoring and sense-making capabilities across government agencies to better detect suspicious activities.
She added that Singapore is determined to preserve its reputation as a clean and trusted business hub.
We will continue to uphold our zero-tolerance approach towards money laundering and do our best to ensure a strong and robust regulatory regime.